Hello and welcome to ThePrint. This is Akanksha Mishra and you're watching Scientifix, where I will be taking you through this week's top science news from across the world. Our first story today is about moss. Yes, the slippery green thing that you've seen everywhere, from rocks to concrete to footpath and even on soil. Did you know that this moss is extremely old and also extremely resilient? The oldest form of moss dates back to even before the dinosaurs, and it has been found everywhere from the Himalayas to the Death Valley in the US, which is the hottest place on Earth. This hardy feature of moss made some Japanese scientists think that they should test this plant's capacity, and they decided to send it to space. Yes, quite literally. They took a tube of moss spores to the International Space Station and just attached it to the outside of the station, exposing it to UV rays, radiation, and the vacuum of space. Guess what they found? 80% of the moss was unaffected by space and grew normally when it came back to Earth. In a new paper in iScience, researchers from Hokkaido University found that the tough outer casing of moss spores acted as a natural shield, and it offered nearly 1,000 times more UV tolerance than other moss structures. They also estimated that this moss could endure as long as 15 years in space. The findings are rare evidence that early plants on Earth possessed built-in mechanism to withstand space conditions. It could be a push towards exploring mechanisms needed in other plants for cultivating and agriculture in space. Our next story is a very interesting study by Dartmouth College on an understudied impact of AI on exit polls and surveys. The Dartmouth researchers found that AI can now infiltrate public polls and skew results with ease, making them untrustworthy and possibly irrelevant soon enough. In a looming crisis for public polls, economic, and psychological surveys, the researchers show that a simple AI system can bypass the standard bot detection checks that are found in an online survey. It can mimic demographic behavior and it can alter results in a poll. For example, in 7 national polls before the 2024 US elections, the researchers found that if they inserted between 10 to 50 AI generated responses, they could completely flip the predicted results. This means that the entire efficacy and the trustworthiness of surveys as a research tool is now threatened by AI, prompting the researchers to suggest that public opinion should now be measured by newer and safer ways in this artificial intelligence world. Current AI detection methods need to buck up, or survey results may soon be a thing of the past. Our next story is about scientists from China who have developed an ingestible pill, which is actually a bacterial sensor, and it can replace colonoscopies forever. Published in the ACS Sensors Journal, the study talks about these tiny hydrogel pills containing bacteria that are engineered to light up in the presence of heme, which is a marker of intestinal bleeding. Along with that, the pill also comes with magnetic particles, which can be easily retrieved from stool samples for studying. Basically, what this means is that instead of painful and invasive colonoscopies to detect gastrointestinal diseases like IBD, constipation, or IBS, one pill can now suffice. The scientists tested these pills on mice and they found that the pills were able to signal the severity of bleeding through their lighting up. The more advanced the disease, the brighter the glow. The researchers said that this pill could be adapted to detect other gut disorders also. And while human trials are still needed, it does point towards a faster and gentler diagnostic method for millions of people that are living with colorectal cancer and inflammatory bowel disease. Finally, carbon neutrality might not be able to stop global warming right in its tracks, because climate modeling by the University of Melbourne in Australia has shown that there will be more intense heat waves for centuries after the world reaches net zero emissions. Published in Environmental Research Climate, the study uses large-scale climate simulations to project how heat waves are going to evolve over the next 1,000 years. Essentially, The researchers looked at timelines of net zero emissions promised by countries from 2030 to 2060. They found that every 5-year delay in reducing emissions leads to hotter, longer, and more frequent heat waves. More importantly, the study found that even if emissions completely stopped and the world reached net zero, the intensity of heat waves would remain the same for centuries before it cooled down. This indicates that the world does not just need to cut global emissions, but alongside that, it also needs to prepare for a rapidly warming world and to help communities adjust to it. That's all we have for you today. Thank you for tuning into The Print.